Steve, what advice would you give to others with mobility challenges who want to stay active?
Just, you know what? I go back to that. Don't say I can't, say I'll try. Too many people that are in a wheelchair or have forearm crutches or use canes, that's an excuse not to do something. I would say the vast majority of people, that's an excuse to sit on the sidelines and say, I can't because. Say, I'll try. I didn't think that I could do a 5K with forearm crutches, yet I did it. And the reason I did it is because it was a challenge. You know, I just wanted to push my boundary. And the ironic thing is, I was one of 2 people that day that did that 5K with forearm crutches. And I did my best to try to catch up with that little gal that was in front of me. My sister was walking with me. And I said, let's try to catch up because I want to get side by side with this person and say, you're inspiring me as much as I hope I'm inspiring those around me. But and she found me after the fact, after the race was over and said that she knew me. And that was, you know, quite a big thing for me. But, you know, whether it's forearm crutches, the wheelchair, when I'm in a wheelchair, you can bet that I'll be racing in a wheelchair. If I was laying on my belly on a belly cart, which I was in the hospital back in the 80s, I raced with the belly cart. I don't know if you know what a belly cart is, but it's basically a wheelchair that is a gurney, and you lay on your stomach and you wheel it just like you would a regular wheelchair. And I did that, was in the wheelchair or on the belly cart in the rehab center. And I used to just scream up and down the hallways, and the nurses would come at me and say, Mr. Lovelace, you have to stop. You're going to hurt yourself. And I'm like, no worse than what got me here in the first place. So let me push this. And I could honestly, even back in the day, I could do a wheelie with that belly cart. I might get the wheels, 2 or 3 inches, but that was my challenge. So I would say, if you don't think you can, look to others for inspiration and ask questions. I went from using no mobility aids to using a staff to using forearm crutches. Now I use a wheelchair, but I still run my bike. I still walk. I can't run anymore, but if I could figure out a way to run, trust me, I would do it. But I do have a racing wheelchair in my shed for the day when I can no longer ambulate or ride my bike. I will be racing a wheelchair and racing a hand crank bike.